told me that music was their closest and most faithful companion. I thought, that's a little far-fetched, even for me. But then he told me more. And you'd be surprised to hear how wonderfully accurate that statement is for a lot of people, maybe even you someday. I know that music has affected my life greatly. You might not believe that, I am only 12 after all. But I'm sure that my life would be 100% different without music. When we were going into 5th grade, as all of you know, our schools merged, meaning we were introduced to a whole other school of kids and our grade was twice as big. That was a big change, and I never really had a problem meeting new people until then, because I started realizing I was a little different than everybody. Other girls started wearing makeup, they cared about their hair, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I was just never into that kind of stuff. So I started getting a little self-conscious, and I've gotten over it now because of music. I got a bass guitar around that time for Christmas, and I remember jumping around the house, and I was declaring that I wanted to be like my parents when I got older, because they were both great musicians. And my dad would even joke that I was destined to be in his band when I got older. But around this time, I didn't know what I wanted to do with music, so it was a splendid surprise to see that I had my very own instrument, that I could write a tune here or there, or just play whenever I wanted to. My dad right now may tell you that I don't play it very often, but I play it when I'm alone, because it's really relaxing and it makes me feel happy. Same with singing at the top of my lungs as I'm walking down the street or something. It all makes me feel so awesome, and I just don't even know how to express that feeling. But I interviewed a few other people, all adults, to see if I could get more information or to see if they had similar stories. I interviewed a musician, a music advocate, some music teachers, and everyday people that you might even know. Some had very touching stories, and some had very professional ones. For some, music is just a hobby, and for some, they made a career out of it. But they all basically said the same thing. They all said that their life would be completely different without music, and life would be so dull and blank without music. And I completely agree. Just think, even if you don't play an instrument, life would be so boring without music. Action movies would be big buff guys chasing each other in their tiny cars. Your phone would make that annoying ringing noise instead of your favorite tune whenever somebody called you. Concerts would be somebody standing on a stage and talking like I am right now. You're all sitting at a concert. Doesn't that seem really boring? But anyway, it seems like I'm rambling on about it, but I want it to stick in your brain. Music is a form of expression. All musicians express themselves in their music in some way, whether it's happy or sad. And it's done that way because music is so much more powerful than language. We play music at weddings to announce the love of two. We play music at funerals to respect the dead. We play music at graduations for the biggest celebration possible. And it's all done that way because those amounts of pleasure and pain cannot be expressed in the perfect way that music can express it. And that's why it's so powerful and it can manipulate your thoughts so easily. And that's why some people go straight to music to make them feel better. Now for the sciencey part. It's been proven that music triggers that neurotransmitter in your brain called dopamine. If you've taken PSS, and I'm pretty sure all of you have, you probably know what dopamine is by now. It's a chemical in your brain that can affect your happiness or sense of pleasure. Any enjoyable music can trigger dopamine and make you feel very happy. That's why it's been proven to help even big things like depression, and it's slightly lowered the high level of illegal drug consumption because we know it in PSS as drugs, kick your dopamine up or whatever. But music does the same thing. So just think how great the world would be if more people listen to music in their free time or when they're feeling sad, because more people would be happy and maybe even people would start taking less drugs. But I just think that's such a powerful thing. And not only that, it can also help you because it can lower chronic stress by lowering the stress hormone cortisol. reason I haven't fallen over in nervousness on the stage is because I was listening to music all this morning to get my stress level more down. And that's why I feel like very into this talk, and I'm very, very confident. And I'm sure, kids our age now, school is becoming harder, and there's all this school drama, and everything is getting crazy. So if we listen to a little more music in our free time, and where stuff's getting hard, it could become just a little bit easier. And then, of course, it's also been proven that music can heighten your focus and memory. So maybe if you listen to music when studying or reading or doing something else important, we could focus on the important things and not be distracted by our phones or whatever. And we can also memorize what we're studying or reading for all the important things that we have to do. Like, I was listening to music to memorize this talk, and it really helped because it kept me focused. And it's, just in case you didn't know you could use it to your advantage, you can do when listening to, you can, just in case you didn't find this, and just in case you didn't realize that you could use this to your advantage too, you can listen to music when studying. You can listen to music when reading a book. It's all really easy. I hope you now realize that the advantage of doing things with music and just music altogether is so far-reaching. It's so powerful. Just like Friedrich Nietzsche once said, life without music would be a mistake.